was 7th March 1979, just a day before International Women's Day, when Iran's Khomeini announced that all women must wear hijab. The very next day, tens of thousands of women threw their hijab and marched in protest. Today, it's 2022. After 40 years, epoch-making moments with intellectual renaissance have once again returned in Iran. Iranian women removing their headscarves and waving them defiantly in public, while some are burning their veils and throwing them into bonfires. Will this be the start of a new era and the final nail in the coffin?
I remember when I was in Iran, I only lived in Iran until the age of 9. But my mom used to keep my hair pretty short so that I could go out as a boy.
No solo protestamos para la hijab, porque ese gobierno nos está quitando la libertad, nos está quitando una vida normal para 44 años.
Women, life, freedom. I want human rights for everybody in Iran. That is the absolute least that we deserve.
The death of a 22-year-old woman, Mahsa Amini, on September 16 from the Kurdistan region of Iran triggered a series of protests that now threaten the Iranian regime itself. Mahsa died after being arrested and beaten, according to eyewitnesses, by Iran's morality police for the apparent crime of not wearing a headscarf in a sufficiently modest fashion. Mahsa's death ignited a historic revolutionary movement inside the country where the Iranian regime had little idea of the forces that were being unleashed inside his country.
نه فقط حالا دیروز پریروز در مقاطع مختلف تلاش شده که دانشگاه‌ها تعطیل بشه، کلاس‌ها تعطیل بشه، بچه‌ها سر کلاس نرن، استاد نره، فلان. این ناشی از اینه، چون دانشگاه نقش اساسی داره.
Mahsa's death brought the simmering tensions to a head. Anti-hijab protest in Iran is not something new. The year was 2014 when US-based activist Mahsa Amini started a Facebook campaign, My Stealthy Freedom. Mahsa has been behind several online campaigns in the past decade. She shared pictures and videos of unveiled Iranian women that were sent to her. Later in 2017, she started a campaign for women to wear white headscarves on Wednesdays. In 2018, dozens of women were jailed in Iran for their activism against forced veiling, for taking to the streets and holding their veils aloft.
خانمه به زور میگه شال کن سرت. آخه چرا باید شال بزنیم ها؟
سلام مسی جون، امروز 21 تیر همونجوری به قولمون وفا کردیم و روسری ها رو در بردیم. امیدوارم همه به وعدهشون وفا کنن و امروز
July 12, 2022. The occasion was National Day of Hijab and Chastity. Several Iranian women, risking arrest for defying the Islamic dress code, removed their hijabs publicly and shared these videos on social media. The hashtag Hijab without hijab was used in over 76,000 tweets globally within 24 hours.
فقط این روسری لعنت باشی تو سر ما ریدم توی این روسری سگ شاشی توی این روسری
نه روسری نه توسری رهبر منم رهبر توی فریاد کن آزادی
نه روسری نه توسری رهبر منم رهبر توی فریاد کن آزادی
نه توسری نه روسری رهبر منم رهبر توی فریاد کن آزادی رو.
نه به حجاب اجباری 21 تیر ماه، نه به حجاب اجباری.
اکثریت قریب به اتفاقمون با این نظام، با این حکومت مخالفیم. ننگ بر جمهوری اسلامی، ننگ بر حجاب اجباری، ننگ بر این تفکرات داعشی و طالبان. نه به جمهوری اسلامی.
The violence that led to Amini's death was not accidental. Iranian regime considers women second-class citizens who aren't entitled to the same rights and freedom as men. Iran is not likely to drop the compulsory hijab rule, but Iran's Gen Z, known as Tahe Hashtadi, is furious and impassioned. This group of Iranian youth makes up less than 7% of the country's total population of 83 million, and yet they have undisputedly been the face of the ongoing protests.
Finally, we have this chance and we want to use it to show to the world that we don't want this government, we want to change them. So our purpose, our destiny is the same, so today we want to shout it together, scream it. We don't want Islamic Republic.
My brothers and sisters back in Iran, they are on the streets, they are fighting for their life. I'm in a free country and this is my obligation to talk.
Iranian Zoomers have the reputation of being indifferent to politics, religion, customs and traditions, like many others their age around the world. The regime has always refused to change its draconian laws and ensure fundamental human rights for its citizens. And now, Iran's Gen Z has turned tone deaf to the fascist regime. The death of Amini was a boiling point that set off a social explosion. As per experts, there are already signals that the Islamic Republic might decide to relax some of the stringent regulations. But few also believe that such rigid laws are part and parcel of Iran's government. Iran's wave of protests has shaken the foundations of the Islamic Republic. From Tehran's universities to far-flung Kurdish towns, men and women protesters have chanted, "Whoever kills our sister, we will kill them." Iranians are fighting for basic rights, the right of freedom of speech, the right to expression of thought, the right for women to choose how they dress, the right against wrongful imprisonment, the right against torture and rape while in state custody. Taking to the streets with their hair in ponytails and fists up, Iranians are singing the song of freedom and resistance that defines revolution. Is this the start of a new era? Are they different this time? Are hijab protests the beginning of the end for Iran's regime?